First comes the cap. And I always like to keep some tape on my tool. It protects the finish of the wheel. Even if the cap and the wheel look like crap, you don't want to do any further damage. You're here to fix things, not make things worse. Next comes the lug bolts. Loosen the last one, but don't take it off yet. Now you have access to the brakes. Next, you want to create some space between your pads and your rotor. So this is going down in here in the rotor vanes, not touching the pad. Because on this one, we're going to be turning the rotors, get rid of the pulsation. It's very thick, almost brand new pads here are going to be saved. There, that little bit is all you need. T40, actually this is T45, works nicely for getting the pins out. You have access to an air ratchet. It's much faster. Of course, this is going to stir up some brake dust that you shouldn't be breathing. You have to be careful because there is a wear sensor here on this connector. That screw. Do not drop this on your toe. And off to the lathe we go. First step on the lathe, I like to take my Scotch-Brite and clean the working surfaces of the tools and attachments. Also, the part of the rotor that touches the hub in the car needs to be nice and clean, including the camphor. And the other side. Make sure the cone is nice and clean. Yes, I like to spin the rotor as it goes here. If there's any little pieces of trash in between, even after the cleaning, you're spinning it like this, it forces them to fall out. Also, that little bit of wiggle and stuff makes sure it seats down on the cone just right, and it is centered and flat. So tight. Anti-vibration band on here. Go around and make sure it's centered and not sticking out where the blades will touch it. Don't want this getting caught in the blades. You want to run your blades in just barely touching. You can tell by the sound, you get a little bit of an idea of just how warped the rotor is. I'm going to turn this in. Choke up on this about 5/1000. Pretty good starting cut. Put it on a fast speed and hit rotor feed. Both sides look great. Means we didn't have to take very much material off. That's good. Go in one last time. This time we only take like 1 or 2 thousandths because the rotor's already flat. We just want a nice slow cut here, turn the speed down. That way the surface won't be so rough. This could take a while, so you might want to skip to a later part of the video. Now it's just a matter of taking everything loose, putting it back where it belongs. Put the rotor back on the car. If you're wondering why we didn't measure this rotor is so obviously so much thicker than the minimum requirements. It wasn't necessary. Of course, we have cleaned this hub surface very well and cleaned these slide surfaces and put anti-seize. Return the rotor to its proper place. Bottom has to go in first and then tilt the top in place. Push your slides in so the threads get down in the hole just right. And then do not start your slide bolts with the air tool. Start them by hand. Once you're sure you've got several threads going, then you can switch to the air tool. New to this and you don't have a feel for it, look up the torque specs, get a torque wrench, and torque these. If you've been doing it for 30 years like I have, then I understand. If you haven't, use a torque wrench. And And I did put Loctite on those slide bolts too. It's especially critical when doing brakes. Notice there's anti-seize on these threads too. Just a little bit, not a lot. If you're going to do that, you better be sure you get them tight. Always go in a star pattern. Go across, again. Just be sure. Notice I'm not sitting here holding it down, hammering on it. Just going back over and making sure. Done. You'll notice most of the time it's on the lathe. You do it properly in the proper sequence, it's not going to take you very long other than the lathe work. So be sure to like and subscribe. Do the other side exactly the same way. Until next week, get off the couch and get dirty.
Don't forget to share our videos. Sharing is caring.